Playboy interviewer Larry Grobel in a zany conversation with Cheech and Chong.
They have been called the Abbott and Costello of the dope generation, but the off-the-wall, up-in-smoke antics of Cheech and Chong put them closer in spirit to the Marx Brothers. They got together in the late 60s in Vancouver, where Chinese-American Tommy Chong was running an improvisational strip nightclub. Mexican-American Richard Cheech Marin came to Canada on the lam, one step ahead of his draft board. In the years since, they've recorded 8 albums, 6 of which went platinum, made 4 movies, all smash hits, and earned millions of dollars along the way. Tommy Chong left high school to begin his career playing guitar in an R&B band. Now in his early 40s, he's been married 3 times and has 5 children. One of his daughters, Ray Dawn Chong, who appeared in the film Quest for Fire, recently made him a grandfather. Cheech is also married and has 1 child. His early memories include stealing cars and outrunning his father, who was an LA cop. They have developed a cult following and enjoy the status of being the only comedy team who have gotten away with taking sex and drugs to outrageous limits. How they got to where they are, what they think about where they've gotten, and how they plan to get on with it is what this conversation with them is all about.
Would you say you guys are more intimate with each other than with your wives? Are you?
Did you tell them?
Well, yeah, probably. Yes and no. Yeah, I mean,
certain areas of our life.
certain areas of our life.
I gotta say, it's
I know.
there's a smile on the face.
Yeah, he probably knows more about me than anybody in the world.
We can never break up. You want to know the truth?
I got the negatives and he doesn't. I know where all the bodies are buried, and he does too. So.
But you said that Cheech wasn't the funniest guy you ever worked with, but he was absolutely fearless.
Not at the beginning. Cheech came out of college, and he had, you know, I mean, he was a singer. He used to sing like Johnny Mathis. And he had short hair, and he'd meditate, you know. Everybody'd be smoking dope, and we'd go, is he an art?
They thought it was an art for the longest time. Yeah.
And Cheech is sitting there like a little Mahavishnu bass player. You know?
So would you say in this case that Tommy sort of opened your mind a great deal when you went
No, he reintroduced me to the gooder, man.
You've said that you're so harmless, you're dangerous.
Yeah.
Now, that's a nice statement. What do you mean by it?
Well, you can't hit a guy that you love, you know, and you can't really find a handle on it. It's like most critics that hate us, or movies or people that really hate us, they hate what we represent. And that's usually everything that they're not, you know. And we're loose, we're free. If it's ended tomorrow, so what? We got 10 million times more than we ever had, you know, and we show them, ghetto kids, you know, that there is a way, you know, that you don't have to be bitter against the system. You don't curse the gods that put you there.
Cheech, you talked about 90% of the people in this business being flakes.
I did. I ain't never said that. He was a misquote. 99% of these fucking flakes are flakes. I mean, you know. No. Well, it's, you know. Open mouth, insert quote.
Well, all right, now let me ask you the next question. How do you deal with them? I mean,
like you do with any flake, you know? You kind of nod, yeah, okay, yeah, oh, that's a really good idea. We'll get back to you. Well, you know, fucking flake, you know? I don't know, you know.
But everybody's got a very short memory in this town, and that's good. That's how you can, you know, hate a guy 1 minute and then have lunch with him the next deal, you know? So it's all right. We're not knocking it. I mean, there's the only way we can get in this business, you know, it's the only business that Cheech and I could, you know, legitimately come in and become successful at. So it shows you, you know, where we're at, you know. So we have to deal with all the flakes and all the rip-off artists.
They think we're flakes too, so, you know.
Well, what about this new thing called celebrity? I mean, how do you deal with it, and how do you see it now that you're on the other side of it?
It creeped up on us so gradually that actually it's a relief to know that you are wanted, you know. We never did get that television exposure and no money. That really drives people to suicide, you know, where everybody, they can't eat in peace, but yet they haven't got paid enough to afford to eat.
Don't you also see among a lot of stars an enormous insecurity, a lot of loneliness? You know.
Well, sure. I mean, you know, you're all of a sudden you're a specimen in the zoo. You know, you got plucked out of the jungles, man. You've been running with this whole pack of monkeys. Now you're the monkey. You know? Okay, monkey, hang by your tail. One more time. You know.
I think.
Influences. Let's speak a bit about influences, okay?
Okay.
Some of your influences. We know.
Sex and drugs.
Sex and drugs. What about the committee?
Oh, love them.
Yeah.
I loved them. They hated us, but I loved them.
Why? They said that you took their routines or something?
We did. We sure did. Two things happened. They got really bugged at the fact that we were doing their bits. And then they got more bugged when they found out that they couldn't do them anymore because everybody thought they were doing Cheech Chong bits. Yeah. So they really didn't like us very much.
Now, how about Pryor?
Well, Pryor loves us. He's a whole different matter.
Mostly it was how to be a comedian, you know.
But he showed us timing and daring and all that. And
he's the only really guy that stand-up comedian that really makes me laugh.
Yeah. How about Red Fox?
Love him. Another guy. Love him.
Yeah.
He's got a show now at the Hacienda where he has Slappy White goes on before him. And Slappy's actually funnier than Red, if you can believe it, because these old guys are talking about each other. And Slappy said the funniest thing about Red Fox. Remember that?
Yeah,
he said, a lot of people think black people got big dicks. You know? Red Fox is the exception to the rule. He said, Red Fox's dick's so small he could fuck a Cheerio.
Well, what about Don Rickles?
I like him.
You like that kind of stuff?
I like him, you know, Rickles, he's got that face, you know, you gotta love him because he's just got that face, you know, and you know his act's gonna be horrible, but he's gonna say something funny and he's gonna get out of it, you know what I mean?
He's got a face that looks like a bubble on a bread pudding, you know, it kind of comes out real quick.
What about Johnny Carson? What is your feeling towards
Johnny?
him? Yeah.
Johnny's a cock blocker. He is. I'll say that about Johnny Carson. We're never going to be on his show. Fuck him, you know. He's afraid of other comics. So he stops them. Whenever they get a roll going, he goes, oh, and he says their jokes again. You know, but he stops comedy all the time.
Yeah.
Well, it's the old television fear syndrome, you know. He's in a tough business. I think he's the best Johnny Carson I've ever seen.
Right. But why haven't you been on the show? You've never been invited, or
well,
is it?
They've been afraid of us.
They're afraid of us. They're afraid
Really?
we're going to say cock-a-poo-poo. Or I think they're afraid that we're going to bust him on his you know.
How much shit are you offered by fans? I mean, do you have stuff sent to you? Is it
We
good
learn.
stuff at least?
No, we learn, man. You know, one time they got, hey, try this. I just did it. So, you know, duh. Okay.
One of the Furry Freak Brothers. One of the original Furry Freak Brothers.
Yeah.
We're in the hotel room and he told Cheech, he said, hey, try this.
Yeah, it was like, this guy was really fucked up. He said, try this. So that's what he should have known. No, not me.
So he tried it.
God, it was fucked.
Half hour later, he's under the covers. Call the cops. Call the police. Call the
No more dope from fans after
God,
that.
I missed a good Charlie Chan movie on, too. It was terrible.
Do you do any drugs anymore?
Yes, we do. Only when we're forced to.
Yeah.
Only you're supposed to.
Like when it's there.
Do you ever grow your own, or have you ever?
No, I haven't ever grown my own dope ever in my whole life.
Cheech, tell the truth.
He has going ever.
Yes, not you, but he has.
Charged me for dope.
How about the stuff you grew out at the beach house
Ixnay.
in Malibu? In his house, he's growing it, but I won't tell anybody. In his greenhouse, even.
Where does the best grass come from? You know.
Your best friend.
Usually from out of frame.
The hand next to you.
Do you prefer hash to grass?
Only when I only have hash and I don't have grass.
What about the first time you did other drugs, like acid? You remember
acid,
that?
I did acid 60... Yeah, about 68, I think.
See you, garçon. They now, garçon.
Yeah, it was about 68. I remember. It was when it was called Try This, you know.
Try this.
Yeah. Try this, yeah. You need something to jolt you out of wherever you are. At least, you know, because you get... this kind of life, you get so bombarded with this and that, man. I just need something to kind of have a nice day and, oh yeah, and slow you down and give you a different perspective, you know.
Now, Cheech, you tell of massage parlor blowjobs really putting you into the present. You say, I mean, you talk about I want to know.
Did he say that? I probably did.
Oh, how much direct experience were you talking from there?
Well, Tommy Too's telling me that's pretty great. No, I mean, some people go to a therapist, man, sit there and, you know, like talk about their repressions, man. And some guys go to a massage parlor and just get a really good blowjob and it mellows them out, man. The whole deal is to get mellowed out, you know, like whatever it takes. No, really, I'm serious.
I believe you. Have you been to a therapist?
Yes, I have. As a matter of fact, I have.
And you prefer the massage parlor?
Fuck yeah. Would you get pounded on or a blowjob, man? You know? I mean, it don't take a genius to figure that out real quick, man. It makes you feel a lot better. I can deal with people a lot better. Like, you know, meditation's cool. But, you know.
It's cheaper?
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper, right?
You don't have to lie?
Yeah. You know, it's...
Promise some jobs or anything? Parts in your movie, you know? It's honest. You don't have to worry about your wife finding out.
Oh, God, you know?
All right, speaking of wives, you said that your most cosmic event was when you dropped acid in 1967 and made love with Shelby, your wife. Has that been your most cosmic event, and why? What made it so cosmic?
I've been trying to ball her for 2 years.
It's like the day of the Hoover Dam bust-in.
You gotta remember, this is...
She was running ahead of this gusher.
This is one gorgeous lady, and she had put me off every which... She ran out of excuses what happened.
When did you get the idea to cut your mustache just a little bit to the
Oh,
why
man,
is that
that's
awful?
cold. That's cold-blooded, man.
Why don't you ask Stacy Keach, man?
He was almost a hair lip, man. Now everybody knows.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's cold.
I was born with a hair lip, and there's a scar there and doesn't grow. So it's a snot trough, you know?
Well, actually,
It's not just, you know, those little skidoo right down there. You know?
I thought it was
Get them
intentional.
little buggers if you're quickest of the greenies. Best part's the head, you know?
I thought it was intentional.
Well, it is intentional now, you know. I kind of cultivate it, you know. Some little bitty hairs was growing up there, but I nuked them, you know. A little napalm out there hurts like hell, but, you know, you get them.
Now, after Up in Smoke was released, did you feel that then you had made it? I mean, was that when you knew? You didn't get much money for that, I believe. But
When Cheech and I first got together and did that first concert without anybody in front of a huge 5,000 rock and roll fans, that's when I knew we'd made it.
Yeah.
All the rest was academic.
Yeah.
I told Cheech then, I said, we can go as far as we can see, because there's only 2 guys doing comedy, like what we're doing, and there's no limit. There's absolutely no limit.